from Darkland. I'm Jane, and today we are joined by Nipun Varshneya. Welcome, Nipun.
Hey guys. I'm Jane.
Thanks for being here. So, Nipun, obviously, we've known each other for quite some time now. It's only been, 7 months, but it feels like quite a bit, right?
See, with you, it's like dog years, right? So the more time you spend with Jane, it's like you're doing multiple things at the same time. So even though it's 6 months, it feels like 5 years.
Not a time to waste, right? So, Nipun, obviously you came to Sydney to study at the AGSM, and we recently went to Montreal in Canada to do the Joan Molson International Case Competition. What was your experience throughout the competition? What did you think about it?
Oh, wow. So the competition itself, I mean, the prep leading up to the competition was intense, but the competition was like a whole different level altogether. And I don't think I've ever faced anything like that ever again. And I might not even do that like even in the future. But the sheer intensity, I mean, like expecting someone to just knock out a presentation in 3 hours is an insane idea. And like to do that 5 times over, day after day.
Yeah, and sometimes twice in a day
as
well.
Yeah. No, I don't think I can compare it to anything else. It's a different challenge in itself.
Yeah. What did you think of the prep leading up to it? How did you gel as a group? Because obviously you guys were the main group, and you spent a lot of time with each other, especially during the last 2 weeks, right, before the competition. How did you gel with the team throughout that last few weeks?
Okay, you know what? That's kind of a challenge coming into an MBA, first of all, with 18 different nationalities being there, and then being part of a group which is like so diverse to begin with. Like this, I think we've covered every dynamic, personal and professional, in that little group that we had. Yeah. And yes, I think being able to contribute and being able to articulate myself into that kind of a space was something very different and something which I was not used to at all. And I think I underestimated it at the beginning, like how difficult that's going to be. But going forward, I think I did kind of get support from Luca and Jack, and get a kind of structure to think about during the presentation and figure out the best way to draw insights from the case that we are reading into it. And that was good. And I think we were so busy in the second term that we just on autopilot the whole time. Growth happened while we were in the presentation. Like we could see the curve really taking off in that time.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. And so did you spend a lot of time thinking about your individual roles and what you could improve after the competition? So at night when you're resting, or do you actually go through it as a group together and said, maybe you could have done that, I could have done that, and so you sort of problem solve and repivot as a team?
You know, I'd be very happy to say that if we should have done that, but we never had the time. Honestly, we never had the time. So just finish the day on the kind of a positive note. Have a couple of moments of reflection, reflect back on what the judges have told you, and then you're back into it the next day. So our retro used to be just the time waiting before each presentation and just kind of going through, okay, let's try this, let's do this a little differently. Those are 10 minutes of waiting outside the room. And then we just run into it, really. And to be honest, like, okay, with me here, I did want to have a good time as well. So the party definitely helped, and I didn't want to make it. So
I don't know how you do it, because I usually crash about 6, 7 o'clock in the afternoon. There were times when I skipped dinner and I just went straight to bed because I was still jet lagged. I was so exhausted, and there was still, stuff going on in the following morning. But good on you.
It takes a strong will to party hard, Jane.
Okay, cool. So I'd like to go back to your background, I guess. So obviously you came to AGSM to do the MBA, and you came from overseas. Can you tell us a little bit more about where you came from and why did you choose AGSM specifically?
Okay, I'll try to be as brief as possible, because I know we should fit more things into this. So my background, I'm a marine engineer by training and a naval officer by profession. And I was doing a bunch of different things in the Navy. So I was into operations and managing ships in my own department. And
the Indian Navy, right?
The Indian Navy, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then I went on to be a trainer for a couple of years, and that was pretty interesting because like there was a whole different side to it. Yeah, we will get into that some other day. And yeah, and after the last thing I did was kind of like an innovation R&D contract management, kind of acting like an internal consultant to ships and submarines and like consultant for outside. So that was pretty interesting and very different from what a marine engineer usually does in the Navy. And very lucky for me that I got that opportunity. But somewhere down the line, I kind of realized that things are getting a little repetitive, and I guess I wanted to challenge myself a little. So that's how the MBA happened. And honestly, Australia was a bit of a. I think I was just luck that brought me here because I was actually waiting for about 6 months to go to any country to be able to start an MBA. And yeah, it just so happened that my wife got a job here. I got accepted, and the borders opened, and we basically had 2 weeks to pack up and get going. So we
wow! Okay.
Yeah. We just hightailed it out of India with whatever time we had, and and I don't think I would have changed anything.
Yeah. What do you think of Sydney?
Oh, Sydney is awesome. Sydney, I'm way. So I said this to my wife the second day we got there, that I'm way happier that I didn't go to Canada or Europe or any of those schools. I'm so happy that we had Sydney here, man. You can't beat the sunlight. Yeah.
Fine. What do you like about it? If there were 3 things that you have to choose that were the top things, what would that be from Sydney?
Wow. Okay. So Sydney essentially is a very easy place for anybody to settle into because, especially for like, I think Asians, there's a lot of Asian culture around, and you don't really miss home in the same way that you would do in other countries, like Montreal, for example. It's very difficult to find the cuisine, the people, the kind of little cultural tidbits here and there. And second, obviously, like the weather helps definitely. It's much easier to acclimatize here. The seasons are reversed, but that's okay. And third, for me, hopefully there are a lot more people here that I could talk to than like if I had gone to any other place. And coincidentally, there's a very large veteran community here from India.
Yeah.
And which was very helpful. I think that's been a very great point of support and inspiration for both me and my wife. So that's actually been awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So if there was just one thing that you could share with someone who have come from a military career and want to explore their options at AGSM, what would that be?
I think the one single most important thing is to let go of what your ideas were around what your MBA should be, and just take what feels right in the moment. Like that's exactly what I did, and I kind of threw myself into the deep end a couple of times. And there were times when I was thrashing about a little, and it was a struggle. But then that's really what it trains you for the life after. I mean, with a 1-year MBA, you're already compressing so much into so little time frame. So essentially, we're doing a 10-month MBA, not even doing a full 12-month MBA. And things are going to get hectic. But then not opening up to the opportunities that are available and not being open to speak to different people, having different experiences is something which, you'll never get the opportunity later. So might as well just throw yourself in full time and like don't worry about like what will happen. It'll all work out.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right, Nipun. Well, thank you so much for being here. And it's been such a pleasure knowing you from the MBA. I'm sure we'll keep in touch, but all the best with the remaining term in Sydney. I'll see you at graduation.
Oh yeah. And like, I can't believe, man, the kind of exchange opportunity. Let's talk about it another time when you get back. But it's been an inspiration knowing you. Like, I can keep going on for a while, but
Thank you.
This has been awesome. It's a long time coming. We've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah. That's right. All right. Well, thank you so much and take care. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you so much for listening. If you like our conversation, please press the like button, comment, and share with your friends. And don't forget to press the subscribe button so that the next video will go straight to your box. See you next time.